Yo, what's going on, man? Come on in, have a seat, chill out for a second. It's Blitz, and today I am bringing you TLM's #1 pick and roll PG build, usered by none other than my best friend Jeff. Year in and year out, he is consistently one of the best PGs in 2K, combining scoring and the playmaking ability. All you PGs out there, go check out his channel. Link will be down in the description. You won't be disappointed. You will get much better at the game just by straight up watching him. I mean, he's a phenomenal talent. Thank you so much for the 800 subs. We just passed the 800 sub marker. I really appreciate it. There's been such an influx of subs and support lately. I honestly can't really believe it. But we're closing in on 1,000, so please, if you enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. Let's hit that 1K mark, man. Also, side note, on this channel, you're only getting a small sample size of the total number of ProAM games that we play. And some of you have already headed over to the Twitch to check it out, but come on over to the Twitch. Link is down in the description. You can see every ProAM game we ever play over there. And I've even started pulling up other people's streams and watching it with the chat and hanging out with them after everyone's done running. So come check us out over there. Love chatting with you guys and get to know the rest of the squad a little bit better. Real quick, go down to the comment section for me and answer these 2 questions. What builds do you want to see next? And what state or country are you from? Dude, so far I've seen in the comments on other videos, people are watching from South Africa, France, even the Bahamas. I mean, dude, that's so cool. Please keep letting me know that. I don't know why that's so entertaining to me, but that's so interesting that people from like other countries are watching this, bro. Let me know what state, what country you're from, watching this from, dude. I'm having a lot of fun finding that out. And as far as #2 here, just to update you on what's going on, the plan for the builds right now, this is the last build from our pick and roll lineup. And now we're going to move on to our new 5-out lineup that we've been running, and we're going to go down the list of all those builds that we've made, and we're running on the 5-out lineup. And I'm thinking about making an introductory type mixtape for that lineup to show you a few highlights of each person and saying a little bit about each person, so that way y'all know a little bit more about the players on the team and the builds and maybe some of the coolest highlights of each person. Let me know if y'all are interested in that. If you like the matchup or the build videos, or maybe you decide to make this build today, let me know. Please leave a like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the bell so you know the second I drop a new video. All right, let's head to the builder. So we are going to walk through the process of making this build just like I have for every build video on this channel. So if you do want just the build, feel free to skip to that part. I'm going to have the chapters down in the description. It'll show you exactly where to go. But for those of you who do want to stick around for the whole video, I do want to give you access to the process and the logic train we use to get to the final product. So first, let's quickly take a look at the viewer warning. I've been including this in every build video as well. I think it's important. Listen, I will never claim to know everything about this build making stuff. All I want to do is bring you what we have created on our team, and just using what knowledge I do have to give you an idea or a direction for your build. And one of the ways I can do that is to give you as much information as possible about the process and understanding the scope that we look through to make these builds. That way I don't accidentally mislead anyone, because that's the last thing I want to do. It's saving you from making a mistake, and it's keeping me accountable for the information I'm putting out there. So let's get to the viewer warning here. This build is specifically engineered for ProAM 5v5 and designed to fit into a unique role on a full team. Now, what does that mean? This build is not designed for running with randoms in the rec. This build is not designed for 3v3. This build isn't even designed for 3v3 ProAM. It is designed for ProAM 5v5 and to fit into a unique role on a full team. Now, some builds can go cross game modes. Some builds can go cross game modes better than others. But the point I'm making here is this is the warning. This is what this build was made to fit into. It's not made for that other stuff. Feel free to comment at me and ask me if I think it fits for certain game modes better than others. I'll do my best to answer the question, but this is the warning. Please keep this in mind as we move forward throughout this build making process. Up next is the build creation formula. This is something I designed to simplify the process of creating a build while also helping you not accidentally mess it up. I use this process for every build I ever make, and it's honestly been incredibly helpful to me, and I'm sure it will be to some of you. So let's work through this really quickly. The build creation formula. #1, what role am I playing? It's important to understand that before you even get started. #2, identify what specific attribute caps, animation thresholds, and specific badges are non-negotiable or must-haves on this build. And step #3, focus on adding your creativity or maximizing your badge counts. So let's circle back around to step #1. what role are we playing? The role we were playing is a pick and roll PG that can shoot the lights out and get quick drop dunks if need be. You're trying to fill up the bucket with scoring and assisting the basketball, and honestly, the defensive role for this build is to be as hidden as possible. And that's just the truth about the build. And I'll be sure to show you the body measurables before we get to the attribute screen. But first, let's go ahead and move on to step 2. So here's what we decided are the non-negotiable or must-have attributes on this build. 80 driving dunk unlocks the quick drops off 1, which I'll just be honest with you. It also gives you silver limitless takeoff. I forgot to include that in the graphic, but I think that's kind of a given for people who understand the game. And honestly, a little side note, that's one of the most OP thing in this game is just quick drops off 1. It's ridiculous. That's all you need. Your guys are going to be dunking as consistently at the rim as somebody with 93 dunk. It's so silly, but it's the way it is. 99 3-point shot, you get Hall of Fame badges at literally anything you want in the category. Every badge on Hall of Fame for shooting you get with that 99 3-point shot, and it's especially useful in that pick and roll. Hitting contested shots, hitting peak shots with people around you. I mean, it's insane. 75 pass accuracy, we're going to start at that. It unlocks the LeBron package. We're just going to start there. We're going to move it up in the attribute screen, as you'll see, but that's must have at least 75. 95 ball handle gets Hall of Fame unpluckable. Gold unpluckable is very frustrating for Jevin at the beginning of the year, and I totally understand it. And once we made builds with Hall of Fame unpluckable, man, he didn't look back. It's a great time, and I could be wrong about this. I'm not 100% certain. Certain. But I'm pretty sure 95 ball handle gets every dribble animation in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it gets every dribble animation in the game. So that's also a plus on top of the Hall of Fame unpluckable. 90 acceleration is also where we're starting. Faster speed boosting for the small guards is just so important. I mean, acceleration matters more than speed with ball. 2K, fix it, please. Makes no sense. But 90 acceleration literally makes your speed boosting so much better, and that's where we're going to start on this build. 60 vertical unlocks the quick drops off 1. That's the lowest vertical you can have and still have the quick drops off 1 as an option within your dunk package. So please have at least 60 vert. I think it might automatically go there. Could be wrong about that too, but I think it might automatically go there throughout the other stuff that you put up. But anyway, 95 stamina. Stamina for small guards. Dribbling and shooting is so important. It's hard to dribble with low stamina, and it's even harder to shoot with low stamina. So these are what we decided are the non-negotiable or must-have attributes for this build. Now let's go ahead and hustle here through the vitals and the body settings. You can see it on the screen. PG, position, handedness, whatever you want. Jersey number, whatever you want. That's obvious. Body settings, we're going to go with 6'1", 186 pounds, a 6'2" wingspan, and whatever body shape you want, we decided to go compact. Moving on to the next screen. Now, take a look. You realize that we're at a 97 overall already. I've only filled in the spots that we've already talked about on the last screen, which are the must-have attributes. Most of you know that that's how the builder works. When you put other stuff up, other things come up with it. So it looks janky. It looks like I did more than just that, but I promise you all I did was what we've already discussed on the previous screen about the attributes earlier. But now let's go ahead and just run down the list of filling out this last 2 overall in this build, and let's see what changes we make. We're going to start from the top. We're going to move driving layup to 77. Gives you an extra badge point in the finishing category, and also unlocks silver acrobat for you if you're into those type of things. We don't necessarily use it a lot, but I know a lot of people do use acrobat, and they really like the badge, so you do unlock that on silver for what it's worth. We're going to go ahead and bump up pass accuracy to 81. It gives you an extra badge point. It unlocks the Curry pass animation. I'm not so sure it's better than the LeBron animation, but it's less about what animation it unlocks and more about the fact that the higher your pass accuracy gets, the faster your passes will be. So we want to go ahead and bump that up to 81. We're going to turn speed with ball up 2. We're going to turn it up to 80, actually up 3. We're going to turn it up to 83, I believe. Yes, that gives us another extra badge point in the playmaking category. We're going to roll on down to perimeter defense. We're going to move that up 3 slots to give us 1 badge point on defense. Remember, you're hiding on defense, so we'll probably put that onto off-ball pest. That will likely be where it goes. I'll go over the badges here in a few minutes, but maybe cut off some backdoor cuts, something like that. But yeah, that's what we're going to do on perimeter defense. We're going to go down here to acceleration. We're just going to go ahead and bump it up one. We want as high of acceleration as we possibly can get. It really helps out with the speed boosting animations, and that's the name of the game for these small PGs, is speed boosting to space, getting shots off, getting dunks off, filling up the score sheet. So that's very, very useful for us. And we're going to go up here, and I believe we're just going to throw the rest of this on free throw. You actually do get put on the line a decent amount with this build. You do get put on the line like a large amount of times, especially toward the end of games too. You got to be able to hit your free throws as a PG and a shooting guard. You have to. So you might see on the other builds where I have like 65 because, you know, it's whatever. You can probably green through it anyway, but 82, I think that's a good spot to throw the rest of those. Plus, there wasn't really any benefit anywhere else. We did check. But yeah, this is what the final badge count looks like. 16 finishing, 29 shooting, 25 playmaking, and 1 defensive badge. This is the final attribute screen for this build. Moving on to the takeovers. Don't overthink this, man. Just don't overthink it. Just go double limitless range. It's the most OP takeovers in this game. Maybe you might try some negative impact, some pull-up precision, but again, I would advise limitless range. Maybe you give team ratings boost a shot, something like that. So anyway, but I would just go double limitless range, man. It's crazy. You step across half court, especially with 99 3-pointer. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You step cross half, you can green. Moving on to the badges, I consistently say in every one of these build videos, aside from the time it takes to make them, this is the hardest part of making these build videos, is trying to decipher what badges to tell y'all to run on these builds, because I think, as most of you know, the number of badges that someone can have is so vastly different this season. Even if you make this line for line exactly what it is, I mean, you've got plus, I think, 4 badge points from previous seasons. You get an automatic +4 very early in the My Career story, and also in season 3 the level 40 reward was multiple different type of core patterns. I'll tell you this right now, I would suggest you use double shooting core on this build, or double playmaking core on this build, but I'm gonna make the assumption as follows. I'm going to assume that everyone just has the normal core patterns and no extra badge points except for the 4 you get very early on in the storyline. That's the assumption for all of these build videos in the badge section, that I think that's a safe assumption to make. That's the safest assumption to make. And if you have further questions about that, please comment at me. I'll be happy to answer those questions. But starting in the finishing, we go with Gold Giant Slayer. This badge is OP, period. It really is OP. Silver Acrobat, Silver Fearless Finisher. This I would probably core Silver Limitless Takeoff, and put it over Slithery over Posterizer, but that's kind of up to you based off what you feel. I think Slithery, when you can't get Posterizer to like Gold or Hall of Fame, I think probably Slithery is better to have on your build. But yeah, that's what I would do in the finishing. For shooting, I would run Midi Magician. You do run into a lot of mid ranges, running the pick and roll, so I would suggest this badge. I think it's a very good badge. Hall of Fame Green Machine. I'm not sure Green Machine's ever been this good in 2K. It's fantastic this year. Please run it. Hall of Fame Limitless Range. I mean, this is the gold star of this build. This and Agent 3s. There's such a great badge combo. Please run them. Hall of Fame Blinders. And you see I have 3 badge points available up there in the shooting category. And here's what I suggest you do. I suggest you apply all 4 of your extra badge points that we talked about just a second ago. Apply that towards shooting. That would give you 7 badge points available. And if we click onto Deadeye, you can see that you can get to Gold Deadeye. And most of you have more if you've hit level 39 or 40 on previous seasons, so you can get to Hall of Fame Deadeye. So keep that in mind, please. Do whatever you want with that, but that would be my suggestion as far as extra badge points and stuff like that goes. Moving on to the playmaking, I would run something kind of similar to this. Obviously, the Hall of Fame Quick First Step and the Unpluckable, that's a given. Handles for days necessary on Gold. You can make your call with your playstyle and your team, whether you want to go killer combos or you want to go Gold Clamp Breaker. Jevin has found out that he likes killer combos better, I think, at this point. And also what you could do, I decided to go with Bailout and Dimer, but technically you've got 3 here in Tier 2 and 3 in Tier 1 right here. You could just throw those in and get 6 and put them onto Silver Clamp Breaker. You could do that. So, I mean, it's kind of up to you, up to your playstyle. What do you think you want to do? But that's also an option. Now for the defense, again, this is kind of a joke on this build, but I mean, off-ball pest and box-out beast, boxing. I mean, of course, you're not going to get a good box-out, but you can put a body on somebody when they're trying to run in from the corner to get boards on defense. So that's what I would run as far as the badges for this build specifically. All right, I think that'll wrap it up for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please go back and answer those 2 questions in the comments. What builds do you want to see next, and what state or country are you watching from? If you enjoy the Pro-Am matchups or the build videos, or maybe you decide to make this build, leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell so you know the second I drop a new video. Let me know in the comments if you are going to make this build. All right, that's all I got. Y'all have a great one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Blitz out.